Ralph here. True Power Trumpet Fitness, and welcome to Terrific Tuesday. And I hope you had a great weekend. I had a marvelous weekend. Oh, the weather was lovely up at Penn State. There was no cars on the road. We just hit everything. Oh, what a great weekend. What a great weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend, however you observe the holy season as well. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. To be great is to be misunderstood. I think that holds true in Jerry's case, and we'll talk about that. Okay? Now, I have not practiced since Friday. That is literally 4 days I have not practiced. Now, this is about 12 o'clock here on Tuesday, and I did have 3 students before I did this. So I did noodle around a little bit, via the lessons. So these are not literally my first notes, but I have not practiced at all. I have spit buzzed. I work with my students in their spit buzzing and everything, but this is, in effect, my first notes. Okay? All right. Now, again, 4 days. Now, the tone, power, range, endurance, all there. All there. Now, what does feel a little bit different? It does feel different. It's like the lips feel thicker, maybe? I don't know. They do feel a little bit different. Now, you notice I clipped a couple things that, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to edit it or anything like that, that I normally wouldn't clip. Excuse me. Now, if indeed I had a very important, delicate job tonight, where precision was very important, I would have not have taken those 4 days off. Absolutely wouldn't have done it. Now, if I did have to take the 4 days off, and I still had that job tonight that was important and delicate and precision and all this sort of stuff, I could probably practice an hour or so before that job, and everything would be fine. Okay? But if it was that important, like I said, I probably wouldn't leave that to chance. So I would have gone to Penn State on another weekend and acted accordingly. Okay? But the tone, power, range, and endurance, all there. All there in abundance. Okay? Now, as again, you saw the thumbnail. From my man, Ralph Waldo Emerson, to be great is to be misunderstood. Okay? And he went on to talk about Plato and Socrates and Jesus and Galileo and Copernicus and all these, iconic figures of different genres. They were all misunderstood during their time. Now, it'd be kind of hard pressed to compare Jerry to Jesus. I think even he would scoff at that. But here's what I'm saying, for the sake of Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, has Jerry been just as influential to the trumpet as Newton was to science? Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that. His concepts, starting way back when, and they morphed over the years, and we won't have to get necessarily into that, have been just as revolutionary and groundbreaking as ever. Nobody has had this impact on the brass world for chops and pedagogy and whatnot that Jerry had. Completely, in many cases, misunderstood. Now, one of the first things, case in point, one of the first things he ever said to me was relax the corners. Completely relax the corners. Who has ever said that? Who has ever said that? I'll tell you who. Nobody. You show me one book that has a copy from Jerry and talks about relaxing the corners. Quite the opposite. Every single book you look at tells you to tighten the corners. Doc Severinsen tells you, no. Completely misunderstood. They didn't understand what he was talking about. Now, the tongue placement has morphed over the years too. But who has ever told you to tongue through the teeth, soft inner red, lib tongue, tweak, whatever? Who's ever told you to do that? I'll tell you again, absolutely 100% nobody. Completely revolutionary. And every single Vacchiano, everybody, it's got to be to the floor of the mouth to open up the cavity. Or whoever talked about using less air to get a bigger tone? Absolutely 100% nobody. There is nothing in any method book that says less air for bigger tone. How about compression inside the mouth? How about spit buzzing? We can just go right down the list. This is completely 100% revolutionary. And yes, along the way, he completely misunderstood. But look at the results. Complete and 100% greatness, revolutionary pedagogy to the art form. To be great is to be misunderstood. Now, perfect example. And I'm going to compare myself in many ways to Jerry's because, as you know, I am spewing his philosophies. Now, some of you guys probably don't even know I did it. But years ago, one of my first videos had the title, and if you want, it's still up if you want to go back and look at it. The great Arnold Jacobs was wrong. I have never been so insulted and just piled on anything I've ever said my whole life. It's like the world was flat. I mean, it couldn't have been more vile and disrespectful and obtuse that I would have the audacity to say that he was wrong. But I went back and listened to that many times because of the outpouring. And not only was I correct, I was completely 100% misunderstood. I could not have possibly been more complimentary of the man and his playing and what he's meant to, the symphony world and all this sort of stuff. There was one thing that I had a problem with. And again, not trying to get into it. A guy with advanced emphysema and the top tuba job in the world is saying that you have to use more air, that is the secret. And I took umbrage with that. It's completely 100% misunderstood. Nothing more. Now that was a great message I had. Any of you that watching this that have tried to cut back on the air and replace it with compression have all gotten a bigger tone. They came straight from Jerry. Revolutionary. Who in the world tells you to blow less, use less air, and a bigger tone? But that's what's been done. And quite frankly, he had the stones to do it. How many people would have the stones to assault the brass world like he did, just knowing full well, for no other reason, that he was right, that he was getting better results chop-wise than just about anybody in the world. He wiped out Maynard. He wiped out Arturo Sandoval. sent Maynard to the hospital to cauterize his lips. All because he knew he was right, and he was misunderstood. Those of us that took the time, and there were many thousands of us that took the time to actually listen to what he was saying and give it an honest try, were rewarded greatly. Mid-60s, and can't even destroy my lips if I wanted to. 4 days off, we're rewarded greatly because we took the time to understand his greatness. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll talk again tomorrow. Great to be back, and that's it. Eat and drink fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power.